For a lot of people in the US, getting a prescription isn't the hard part, it's being able to stay on it.
Cost is what decides that.
The exact same medication might cost one person around $25 a month, while someone else is paying a few hundred. So access isn't just about how many people want the drug. It comes down to how insurance coverage, discount programs, and out-of-pocket limits all line up for each individual. That gap is becoming easier to see with the release of a new version of Wegovy. In January 2026, a pill version became available in more than 70,000 pharmacies across the country. It uses the same active ingredient as the injectable form, but removes the need for weekly shots. On the surface, that sounds like a small adjustment. In reality, it changes how easy it is for people to begin treatment and keep going. In just the first 2 months after launch, around 600,000 prescriptions were written. That's a very fast start for any new medication, especially a new format. It shows that demand was already there, but also that more people are willing to try it when the process feels simpler and less intimidating. But this shift isn't just about switching from a shot to a pill. It's also about how the drug is priced and how it reaches patients. The pill starts at about $149 per month and can go up to around $299 depending on the dose. Some people, with the right insurance and savings programs, can pay as little as $25 a month. Meanwhile, the injectable version still carries a list price of over $1,300 per month before any discounts. That creates a system where access isn't consistent. Two people with the same prescription can end up in completely different situations. One person can stay on the medication without much financial strain. Another has to figure out if they can afford several $100s every month. So while the drug is more available than before, affordability is still a major barrier. The speed at which prescriptions are increasing adds another layer to this. When demand rises this quickly, it puts pressure on everything at once: supply chains, insurance coverage, and pricing models. This isn't a slow buildup. It's happening fast. And as that continues, it influences how companies price the drug, how it's distributed, and how insurers decide what they will or won't cover. There's also a noticeable shift in behavior. Moving from injections to a daily pill removes both a mental and practical hurdle. People who might have avoided treatment before now have a different option. As more people start using these medications, the effects go beyond weight loss and into everyday habits. GLP-1 drugs have already been linked to changes in appetite and food spending. As more people use them, those changes start showing up at a larger scale. At the same time, the system that makes it easier to start treatment can make it harder to stay on it. The costs can increase as doses go up, since pricing is tied to how the medication is adjusted over time. Insurance coverage is still uneven, and not everyone qualifies for savings programs. So, while starting treatment may be more accessible, continuing it can become more difficult. Access comes quickly, but long-term affordability isn't guaranteed. And this isn't just about Wegovy. It reflects a broader pattern across GLP-1 drugs. Demand spikes, access grows, but not evenly, and cost ends up deciding who can keep going. The pill version speeds up that pattern by bringing in more users, without solving the underlying cost issue. Right now, the oral version of Wegovy is widely available and being prescribed in large numbers. Demand is still strong. Prices still vary quite a bit depending on coverage. And access still depends heavily on insurance and eligibility for discounts. It's easier than ever to start treatment, but staying on it is still a different question. That gap between access and affordability continues to shape how these medications fit into people's lives. If you want to keep track of how changes like this are affecting cost, access, and everyday routines, you can subscribe to Dose and Demand. And if you have a perspective on this, feel free to share it in the comments. As more people gain access to these medications, what ends up mattering more in the long run, availability or affordability?